Hello and a very warm welcome to this special conversation on the Squirrels.in. What a terrible day it's turned out to be. A day which we as a nation are not going to forget ever. Just imagine when 26 of innocent civilians traveling from different corners of the country, only for the sake of a much needed vacation perhaps for them, end up realizing that death was staring at them in their face because of some terrorists who knew exactly when these civilians were reaching there. The Pahalgam strike is not just a terror strike, it's an attack on the very ethos of India. And that's why it's very important to raise some uncomfortable questions, to ask for accountability, and then to look for what should be done as a response. With me, two of the foremost military, Kashmir, Indo-Pakistan strategists with us, former DGP of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, Vaid, joining us live, and another ace military strategist, Major General Ashwini Sivach, joining us live as well. Great to have both of you today on this program, sir. Why should we not say that if what you're saying holds true, why should we not say that accountability must be fixed at the level of intelligence agencies?
Accountability has to be fixed. I think first we must go for action. That is very important because we need action to be taken against this incident because this is a horrible incident. And if you recall, only 2 or 3 days back, the army chief of Pakistan, General Asim Munir, made certain statements. I need not elaborate. You must have seen that. You cannot disassociate that statement with the attack which happened yesterday. And this my experience tells me this is a very well planned, very well racked, and executed on the instructions of the people from the handlers across.
But sir, who do we really want to extract this revenge from? I mean, is it as simplistic a thing that Pakistan is responsible? So let's just go and bomb Pakistan?
There's no denying of the fact that such a major attack taking place, that there is no intelligence failure, there is no weaknesses in our system. Definitely. Such an attack cannot happen without the failure of the intelligence. We should have. I was speaking to 3-4 officers of that area, and in fact, one of them said, when I asked him what was the system of deployment there, because if tourists are flocking in such huge numbers, so one expects that there is deployed in that area. So the feedback I got was that if you recall, the base camp of Amarnath Yatra, what is that place known as, which is just 2-3 kilometers before Pahalgam.
Yes.
So between that base camp of the Amarnath Yatra and Pahalgam, right side, this is a pony track which goes up, and
Right.
there's a huge meadow which you have seen on videos, deep in the forest in the upper reaches. So he was sharing with me that, sir, there was a system that there's an army camp around that meadow, which actually ensures general security in that belt. Morning and evening, 2 times, the LRP of the CRPF goes in that area to ensure general security. But there was no permanent deployment of armed policemen there. Now, why was there this system there? That obviously needs to be looked into, and it means this all pattern must have been studied by these attackers who have done it. And this officer was sharing with me that, sir, there was no report of any terror group operating in that belt. That area, right side of the hill, is actually connected towards, Kishtwar ranges, and also towards behind Anantnag, Achabal area. So, see, his assessment was that this group of terrorists who came and struck
Hmm.
actually came from the other side, that is Hill Ridge, joining from Tral area. So let's see, this is a part of investigation. First,
Right.
we must track down these terrorists and eliminate them. But obviously, heads must roll. I am told there are issues of coordination, issues of indefinitely weaknesses in the system and intelligence. There should have been
So,
inputs of if groups are operating in that belt.
right.
And you have such a heavy rush of tourists. So one
Hmm.
should have anticipated that. But the security forces and police have a problem. You may avert 99, but 100 time you fail it. So I think
Okay.
in such a situation, let's first fix it.
Why are we shying away from saying that this was an abject failure of Indian intelligence? This whole business of, let's just wait. Let's just choose a time of our place, strategic convenience. Is this now all not a bit too much of a cliche, sir?
Bhupesh, no doubt. See, it needs a three-pronged strategy. One is what we are saying is we have to also look into it where the thing have gone wrong and
Hmm.
how we have not able to get intelligence. They behind that fact, how come we didn't know about overground worker and sleeper cell? Without that they can't function. They can't be fish can't survive without water the same way the terrorists can't survive without OGW and sleeper cell. Somewhere something has gone wrong, and I'm sure our organization will take care of that. The system is in place to find out where did we go wrong. But in the
Hmm.
same time, possibility, the tourist was coming in so many number, and we have taken this as a routine that the terrorists never strike on the tourist because if they strike on tourists, it will hit the common people because it will hit the
Hmm.
economy of Kashmir. So a compulsancy sets in. There's no denying that fact, and you start feeling it. You are very safe. You were safe because there
Right.
are hardly about 40, 50 terrorist residual are left in Kashmir Valley. And they are also
Hmm.
without leadership. Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaise-e-Mohammed, their morale was down.
Hmm.
But of late, there have been some infiltration taken place, especially from Rajouri Punch area. And from Rajouri
Hmm.
then they can come to Doda, Kiswar, and they can also cross over Pir Panjal and come toward Pahalgam side. There's no doubt. But one
Hmm.
aspect is that that responsibility will be fixed in. But as on today, two things are more important. One is
Right.
to able to nab those three to four terrorists or five terrorists whosoever were involved in this heinous crime. So the first and foremost thing is you able to cordon them and comb the area and thereafter neutralize them. That is the biggest thing. If we are not able to do it, is not easy because they have already have a lead of about 2 3 hours. By the time
Right.
the security forces could react and reach there, this Baisaran area is about 4 to 5 kilometers from Pahalgam, and by the time the security forces could react, they would already had a lead. And they do not work on mobile; they work on a satellite telephone. So it is very difficult to
Hmm.
do. Your drones and are not successful when there is a vegetation. So it is not that easy. Having operated in this area also with the 3RR, which is very close by. So I know that it's not
Hmm.
easy. But certainly aim is to able to nab these terrorists which were involved in this heinous crime. And the third, which is
Right.
very important, is that we all know this has been done by Pakistan Army and ISI. And therefore a
Hmm.
suitable response has to be given. And a suitable
But what do we do, sir? That isn't that a problem now? See, post Pulwama, we went for an airstrike. Now, if we have set the template so high, what should we do now? Post Pahalgam, then?
absolutely. See, the point is, first of all, we should be clear that a suitable response has to be given. The place and
Hmm.
timing has to be of your own. And what will be the quantum and what will be the methodology that has to be evolved by the military, and that will have need a blessing of the government, and that will be
Hmm.
worked out. Now, what you are saying is it can't be a same template what we did in after Udi. We did a surgical strike where we have gone inside by special forces hit those launch pad which were about 2 3 kilometer deep inside. But for Pulwama, we went to Balakot, which was almost 90 kilometers head of POJK in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And we have used the air power. But this time, it can't be repeated. You have to do something different. But this time, to me, it looks like that. This is a far, far larger, aberration, and you want the Pakistan Army and IISI to get a feeling and beating that if you do such an action, India is going to suitably respond. Now, we have to also cater for the contingency that what will be the response of Pakistan. You have to factor in that also, because if you have a very strong message you want to send there, and you also expect some sort of reaction from Pakistan, you must be mentally prepared for that also. So now my point is, what can be this, whether it will be a ground attack, whether it will be air attack, whether it will be a missile attack, whether it will be a combination of all this. This has to be decided by the top military commanders along with the government of India. Now, what you are trying to convey is that the ground has a limitation. You cannot go more than about 2-3 kilometers, which you have already done in surgical strike after Uri. Air power can go. See, my point is, what will happen now? The moment this incident had taken place, Pakistan is alert. They know that you can do such a thing. Their air power is also alert.
Right.
So it is not easy to immediately respond. Take your time, select your target, select your means of hitting them. So I am only trying to convey that you should not now
Sure.
carried away emotionally.
Okay.
Control yourself.
That's a fair point. I think that's a fair point that you're making,
And my
Jen.
point
That's
is,
a fair point.
Bhupesh, I just want to convey one thing, but
Yes.
this time the response will be stronger than what it was earlier. To me, it looks like that. Government had no
Let's ask.
choice.
But is this whole business of connecting the dots between the Pakistani army chief, who also happens to be a former ISI chief, and the Pahalgam terror attack, isn't it much too simplistic that he makes a statement a few days back and lo and behold, now we have this attack, sir?
See, Bhupin, what Army Chief was talking is pure jihad. So it is not. It is a war. We must accept this. And if you remember, few months back, I had mentioned that there are some Pakistan Army regulars amongst those who have infiltrated, both in Jammu region and Kashmir Valley. Some of the SSG commandos are there. And today, the composition of terrorists who are operating 70 in Jammu region, about 80, 90 in Kashmir Valley, 90% of them are Pakistanis. And it is not coincidence that this very army invited the Hamas leader over 3-4 months back in POK, and who interacted with LET. It is our Pulwama 2 moment. If you recall, attack by Hamas on 7th October in Israel, that attack, do we see some sample of this attack with that? There, the people in Israel were celebrating that music festival. Here, tourists had gone to enjoy the beauty of Kashmir. Now, it may be not of that level, but yes, it has some linkages with that. That was not without any meaning that Hamas leader came there and that kind of attack. I was, in fact, for a few months feeling little not comfortable that something is cooking there. And this is what they have executed. I think if India today, with the kind of world sport with India, if we cannot actually show Pakistan this, now let's not discuss in detail what are the things which India can do. I think that we should leave to the top people in Delhi. They must be definitely working on it. Let's not on the camera speak all these options, but there has to be a response, and this is the moment. India must do that. Pakistan, General Munir is facing. I know. I need not elaborate what are the conditions in Pakistan, whether it is Baluchistan, KPK, even POK, uh, people are actually so angry with Pakistan army, and they were looking for escalation. General Munir is actually looking for escalation in Kashmir Valley so that attention is diverted, and he chose this particular moment when Vice President of America is here and our Prime Minister was in Saudi Arabia. So I think the timing has also been decided. Now all these factors do matter, and this is the significance of this attack.
And what about Baluchistan, sir? Do you think that the fact that India has been supporting terror activities in Baluchistan, which we describe as freedom struggle, there is a feeling that Pakistan is giving it back to India in the same coin? Do you ascribe to that theory, sir?
No, see, what happened is what DGP was trying to tell. I first of all agree on all those issues that possibly Pakistan is under a lot of stress, especially Jana Asim Munir, because they are failing in Baluchistan, they are failing in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. There is a political instability, economic crisis, and also there is a problem with Afghanistan. So they want to divert the attention, and they got this. They wanted to do something big in Kashmir. Why did they select time? Because JD Vance is there, Vice President of US. Earlier, remember when Obama came, they did it, and when Clinton came in 2000, they did Chatti Singh Pura. So this is again whenever, because the moment a president or vice president of US come, it gives a lot of publicity internationally. Now, why did they select Pahalgam? Because Pahalgam is the biggest communication center as far as the tourism is concerned. From 3rd July, the Amarnath Yatra will start. Amarnath Yatra take place from two places. From South Kashmir, it is from Pahalgam, and from North Kashmir, it is from Baltal. Baltar is shorter route, Pahalgam is a longer route, but it's a comfortable route. 70% people use Baltar, Pahalgam. So now the point is, after this incident, you will see that there will be a hit on the tourism in Jammu and Kashmir. You take it, it will be down by almost about 20-30% until unless we take a remedial measure. Now, this is why they have selected the time and the place. Now, as far as Baluchistan is concerned, our take is Baluchistan Liberation Army, it is a freedom and they are fighting against Pakistan army, and they have already signed an operational sort of agreement with Taliban Pakistan. Though their aims are different, but just for operational point of view, they have now been operating almost in the same fashion. So Baluchistan Liberation Army is hitting them hard, but I don't think Baluchistan Liberation Army has anything to do with Kashmir.
No, I'm
We
saying
call
in response to the fact, because there's also there has been this perception that there is an Indian involvement in Baluchistan, so therefore, there are Pakistani jihadists who are coming into Indian territory. Is there a link between the two?
Yeah, that I see. The point is that we have been always telling, as far as Baluchistan is concerned, it is a freedom struggle, and we have no role to play. Whatever is happening, it is done by Baluchistan Liberation Army. But certainly, what your point is that they are blaming that whatever is happening in Baluchistan, the Indian authorities are helping them out, maybe financially, maybe giving them weapon, which we are denying it. And I don't think we are involved in it because is the border connected? You see, whenever you want to help a insurgent group or a terrorist, they must be contiguous to your land route. As far as Pakistan is concerned, it is far easier for them to provide all facility and also the terrorist camp and their training. So I think it is not that much. It is far-fetched. But whatever it is, that the frustration was setting in Jana Asim Munir and Pakistan Army. They were becoming very unpopular, and they were thinking that POJK is also going out of their hand. Because people in POJK, the social media was so much showing the development in Jammu and Kashmir that the Indian side had developed tremendously and that far behind. There was a in Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, Jhangad, Kotli, Bagh, Dadnial, Pakistan, Poonch, they were on the roadside. They were Chakka.
All right, gentlemen. I hear from both of you very, very clearly that it's time for a decisive, strategic, military response to Pakistan, but not in an emotional state, at a time and a manner of our choice. Thank you to both of you for joining us today on the Squirrels, sir.